1, 2, 3, funk it.
How can we see water?
Summer's in the Something's in the air right now.
Sup, name's coffeepic. Today is a special one. This is my 2,000 subscriber special, which by the way, I'm incredibly grateful for. I really can't believe that I have achieved this goal, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. Today is a little tribute to, you guessed it, Billie Eilish. I have been a fan of her for 5 to 6 years, and it has been a journey. I have been planning this video for a while and cannot wait for you all to watch it as I am editing this. So sit back, get your snacks, because this one is a long one, and took me a while to edit. My name is coffeepic, and this is the story of Billie Eilish. We all were kids once, but we don't really remember a lot. But one thing we do remember are the core memories. Maybe it was your first day at school, learning a new skill, a fun trip with your family. Billie's was music. The whole family was filled with music, dance, and comedy.
Hi, my name is Billy, and this is Lucia. Come here, Lucia. Say hi. Hi.
Since Billie was young, she did many activities with music. It was just in her.
At 6 years old, she told us she wanted to sing in a talent show. She said, oh, I know what I want to sing. I want to sing Happiness is a Warm Gun. We were like, what?
I joined the choir when I was 8, mainly because my brother was in it, and I thought that was really cool.
This became a home for her.
And to be in a room full of people who actually love singing as much as I do was really eye-opening.
Maybe it's in the color where I left my lover. What an expensive fate.
And there it was, Billie's first piece of work. Don't Smile at Me, her first EP. This was it. This was the first taste that we got from Billie. And wow, did she deliver. Sure, it wasn't her most successful piece of work, but it was definitely memorable. And there are some amazing tracks on that EP. In fact, all are. This is when Billie was still unknown to many people, or as we say, our little secret. Despite it being ages ago, it's one of my favorites from her. The album discusses many topics, like insecurities, self-expression, heartbreak, confidence, sense of self, and more. Some have had mixed opinions about this EP, saying it's trying too hard to be edgy, but I personally disagree. I think this album was just Billie being herself and telling her stories, and she did it perfectly. So yeah, this EP might be from a while ago, and might not be everyone's personal favorite, but it is one of mine, and always will be.
My V is for vendetta. I thought that I'd feel better, and now I got a bellyache.
I'm taking my teeth out. My Invisalign has.
I have taken out my
taken
Invisalign.
out my Invisalign, and this is the album.
Billie.
What do you want from me?
One of the biggest times of her life, Billie released her first studio album, When We All Fall Asleep. Where Do We Go? I think it's safe to say that this was Billie's most successful album ever. This was honestly her biggest moment so far, and we love to see it. I can't even describe how many achievements she got with this album. She won 5 Grammys at the 2020 Grammy Awards, making her the first woman to sweep the big 4 categories in one night, and also the youngest person to win Album of the Year. Talk show after talk show, performance after performance, Billie was unstoppable. She also kicked off her When We All Fall Asleep tour, which was amazing. Then her Where Do We Go world tour. Although she couldn't do talk days of the tour due to COVID, it was still amazing. This was when Billie became Billie Eilish. Don't Smile at Me was an appetizer. And When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go was the main dish. It was like her saying, "This is me, I am Billie Eilish." This album was also Billie's most streamed album of the year on Spotify, which is a huge achievement. All tracks were good, and Billie was at her biggest moment, so what would be next? I remember watching Billie's documentary for the first time, and just thinking to myself, I love her even more now. I loved Billie before watching it, of course, but that documentary just made me realize how special she is to me, and that I could not live without her. And to see her go through those things, it hurt. Who knows how much I bawled my eyes out watching it. I won't get into too much detail, but realizing how much she's been through really makes you feel a certain way. After that, it was kind of silence. We know that it takes some time for Billie to release an album, and we knew she was working on one, but you have to understand, this album could either make or break her career. This would be the album after one of Billie's most successful albums ever. So if people didn't like it, it would basically mean the end of her, so as Billie fans, we were a bit nervous, but we trusted her. And thank goodness we did. But despite all that, Billie came back, and happier than ever. Billie released her second studio album, Happier Than Ever. I just want to say that if you have watched my channel, you know that I am the biggest Happier Than Ever stan. This album is legit the definition of underrated. Sure, we have big songs on that album like Therefore I Am, NDA, Your Power, and Happier Than Ever, of course, which of course are all amazing. But some songs on that album are criminally underrated, like Everybody Dies, Overheated, Getting Older, Oxytocin, and more. This, in my opinion, was Billie's best era. Loads of people said this was Billie's flop era. I don't get it. I don't know why people called that era her flop era. It was in fact the opposite of a flop era. It was maybe even one of her best. I really loved this era so much, and if I could go back in time to go through it all again, I would. The tour, the content, the interviews, and the fans were chill. It was an amazing time. Billie's career was probably at her peak so far. Sure, it was different, but it honestly showed that Billie could do any concept and would really pull it off. This era will always be remembered by everyone, and I'm so happy that I was here to see it. It was truly amazing and will never be forgotten. And to that I say, thank you, Happier Than Ever. You will be missed. And there it was, after a very, very long time. Hit Me Hard and Soft was out. Now, of course, this era is going on as we speak, so there will definitely be more to come than right now. But so far, it's been amazing. First off, the album is just fantastic. I genuinely love how Billie loves to experiment sounds on each album. It's like you never get bored. It was a really well-made album. I don't know how to explain it, but this album shows how far she's come. I remember during Billie's previous albums, there were songs everyone knew, and some barely anyone knew. It's not like that anymore though. Sure, there are underrated bops, but let's be for real, a lot know them, and that's a good thing. I hate when there are good songs that nobody knows about, like y'all missing out. Anyway, I remember listening to this album for the first time. I came back home from school, changed, and immediately went on Spotify to listen. I was honestly a bit nervous. We haven't gotten an album from Billie for ages, and I didn't know what amazing stuff she and Phineas would do this time, but I couldn't wait for it. And as I expected, I loved it, and truly made me realize how amazing Billie is. You could give her any assignment and she could do it. She just does it so well. This woman is nothing but unstoppable, and she can literally do it all. Also, can we just talk about Billie's transformation? It's literally insane. I honestly cannot imagine a timeline where Billie didn't become a singer, or just anything to do with art. She has everything that people would want, and she always does it her way, not caring about what everyone would think, and I love that. I think this album truly showcases that. And her personality is just as amazing. She is true to everything, everyone, and herself. My point is, whatever this girl wanted to do, she would absolutely live it in the best way she can, and she isn't trying to be better than anyone. And it's not to discredit her as an artist. She's obviously an amazing artist, but I feel like we don't talk about how loyal and kind she is as well, which is a reason I love her so much. This woman will always be in the history book for being one of the most iconic artists in the world, someone who's truly dedicated to her craft. That is a true artist. In other words, Billie Eilish. My name is Coffeepic. Thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers and for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.